Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm starting off with my e.l.f. Illuminating Primer, and this is a great mattifying primer. I've also went ahead and did my brows with my cream eyeliner from e.l.f. in Coffee. Now I'm taking my two Poreless matte foundations by Maybelline in Warm Honey and Coconut, and I'm blending them together with my 48 face and bronzer brush from Sephora. I love this brush because it applies the foundation evenly across the face, so you can go over your face quickly with this brush. It's so dense that you don't have to go back and blend your brush strokes because it doesn't leave any behind. So this is a great brush to use, especially with liquids. So I'm just gonna make sure that I've got my entire face, everything is blended. I don't really have to worry about brush marks because it's a very dense brush. So I'm also going to be applying this shade onto my neck and a little bit on my collarbones, just to get rid of some of the discoloration I have from scleroderma. And now I'm going to take my mineral powder from L'Oreal in Soft Sable, and I'm going to set my neck and the makeup on my decolletage so it doesn't crease. Now I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Conceal in Yellow Corrector, and I'm putting that under my eyes, my cupid's bow, underneath my nose, the bottom corners of my lips, my chin, and underneath my jaw, down the center of my nose and between my eyebrows. I'm also going to add a brow bone highlight with this shade as well. Now I'm going in with the flat foundation brush, and I'm using patting motions to blend this concealer in with my foundation. I was going to use a beauty blender, which would have taken a lot less time, but mine, I just cleaned mine and I was still having trouble wringing out the soap in it. So I'm just going to rinse out later and use it later. But for the time being, I'm using this, and the reason why I'm using patting motions is because I don't want brush marks. And so when you use patting motions, you can avoid that altogether and get a nice blended look. So I'm going in and just blending out all the places where I placed that yellow concealer. And like I said, I'm just gonna keep using patting motions. Now I'm blending out my forehead. I got a little in my brow over there, and there's no worries because I can go back and fix it. So I'm just going in the creases of my face and making sure that they're blended. And now I'm blending down the center of my nose, and I feel like everything is starting to look pretty blended. Now I'm correcting my eyebrows where I got concealer in them. And here for setting, I'm going to be using my Bare Minerals powder in Well Rested with a concealer brush from Eco Tools, and I'm going to use this powder right underneath my eyes where it's a little more deep set. This is going to be my brightest highlight, and I'm going to bring it also up into my tear duct. So I'm also going to repeat that step on the other side, and I'm also trying to blend the edges of it, so when I add my other highlight powder, it tapers together. They just blend very well together. So I'm also going to use this as a brow bone highlight as well. So here's my Contour Blush 2 palette, and I'm using these two yellow shades to mix together as my highlight. And this is so I can get a more gradient effect from that very high highlighted area blended into my skin tone. So I'm going to use this to apply a highlight on my chin. I'm also going to apply this as a highlight under my cheekbones. And I'm also going to apply this on my cupid's bow area and above my lip. Okay. So I like the way that's blended, and I'm also just going to set my eyelids because they're creasing. And I'm going back in with a thinner brush, and I'm applying Well Rested down the center of my nose, in the bridge of my nose as well as my the center of my eyebrows. Right here. And going down the center of my nose, I'm going to blend the edges so they're not so harsh. Just like that. Okay. And now I'm just going to take my CoverGirl Queen Natural Hue Bronzer in Ebony, and this is my go-to contour powder. It's nice warm undertones, not ashy gray undertones, so it looks good with dark skin. And I like this on my cheekbones, on my forehead, along my jawline, and a little bit underneath my lip. And I'm using the buffing technique, so I'm going in with my mineral powder, that is my skin shade, in Soft Sable from L'Oreal. And I'm gonna blend all the colors together so it's more gradient and it's softer, and everything is nicely and evenly blended. So as a second tip, I'm going back in with just a clear translucent powder, and I'm buffing everything together so that the powders on my face are more evenly blended. Alrighty, now I'm just gonna go in with my Fuschia Fusion blush from e.l.f. and I'm gonna apply this on my cheekbones just to bring a little bit of life back into my face, because when you contour and highlight, you tend to lose those naturally pink pigments in your face. Alright, and just like that. And I'm just going to apply a little on my nose. And now for a highlighting bronzer. This is my Lorac Tantilizer Big Bronzer in Bronze. And I'm applying this on my cheekbones, down the center of my nose, my cupid's bow. And now I'm going in with an even brighter highlight. And this is in Champagne. It's Max Mineralize Skin Finish. And I'm applying this on the very high points of my cheekbones and the apple of my cheeks. I'm going to apply this on the bridge of my nose and as a brow highlight and tear duct highlight. Okay, just a little on the chin for good measure. Now I'm going in with my Love in Rio eyeshadow quad, and I'm just going to use a fluffy brush. I'm starting right above my arch and stopping right underneath my brow bone. I'm also going to bring this color along my lower waterline and wing it out to meet with the color on top. And I'm just going to build the color up. This is extremely pigmented. I have no primer on my eyelid, so it comes out just like this. And I'm going to make sure to really soften the edges so they aren't super harsh, and just make sure that each side has the same amount of pigment on them. Okay, and just like that. Now I'm going in with my Fuschia Fusion blush from e.l.f. This is what I have on my cheeks, and I'm using that as a transition color at the top for my brow bone and also underneath, so that the purple blends into my flesh tone a little bit better. Now I'm taking this lilac color and I'm going to place this on my brow bone as a highlight, and just making sure it's blended in just like that. I'm also going to take this towards the socket of my eyes, so that's more blended, and I'm going to go and use this darker color that's more like a lavender, and I'm going to apply this on my eyelids. So now I'm taking Walnut and I'm going to use a thin lip brush to apply it, because I don't want to use a fluffy brush. It's going to spill the pigments all over and I don't want that. It's very glittery, so you want to keep it on the lids as best as you can. I like using a brush for that. And now I'm going to take Platinum. This is brighter, and I'm going to place this in my tear duct and in the center of my eyelids for a little bit more of a pop. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other eye. Just like that. These are two of my favorite pigments. Salmon would also be a great color to use instead of Walnut. So now I'm taking my L'Oreal smoldering voluminous eyeliner, and I'm lining my lower waterline and my top waterline, which is called tight lining. It helps give the eyelashes an appearance that they're thicker and just fuller and more luscious, which is fun. Here it goes, a standard eye curler from e.l.f. It was $1, and I'm going to use this to curl my eyelashes. They're very long, so I just use lengthening mascara instead of lashes. And I'm using my L'Oreal telescopic mascara, and I'm making sure to wiggle it through the base of my eyelashes and through the tips. And when you go down to the bottom row of lashes, greatest tip ever is to tap the wand into the eyelashes instead of just brushing it through, so you can build up the product and get your bottom lashes looking very long and thick as the top ones. So I'm just gonna repeat that step, and this is all for the eyes, you guys. Pretty simple. Now I'm going in with my Slim Lip Pencil from NYX in the Dolly Pink, and I'm going to apply this on my entire lips. You can stop here for a nice matte look if you want, but I had to do more because it's fun and why not? So I'm going to make sure I have this all over my lips, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of gloss. And the gloss that I'm using is from L'Oreal. It's the Infallible lip gloss, and it is in, if I can find the shade, I'll tell you. It is in Bloom, which is 125. It's a lovely pink color, and I'm applying this all over my lips. There's no fancy way of doing it except for keeping the lip gloss on your lips and not all over your face. And that is it, you guys. This is the completed look, and this is my recreation of a look that I did for Austin Pride Fest, Pride Parade in 2013. So ta-ta everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.